All right, guys. So I just want to welcome everybody to our weekly leadership call. Everybody on this call, is definitely a builder and a grower and a leader, and is fundamental with the growth of eXp. And today we want to introduce Ismael. So Ismael is the new president in charge of the growth of Mexico, and so he's been gracious enough to give us his time today. We're going to be on for about 15-20 minutes. He's going to share some insights on what's going on with Mexico. Really a great gesture on his part this week, because we do have eXp Con, which of course is blowing up. And so we're just really fortunate to have this time with him this week, and be able to kind of share, what's happening over there with all your people. And something interesting about our group, Ismael, is that we actually have a very strong, we're in the LA area, most of us here, and so, or from LA. So we have a very strong, Latino community. I would dare say we might have the largest Latino group in the company. Yeah, so you're talking to the right people here.
Awesome. Well, Rosie, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here with you guys. It's an honor for me to be able to talk to you guys, and it's my pleasure too.
Awesome. So I think I'm gonna just tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, your background, and then we'll kind of go in and ask a couple of questions.
All right. Well, what can I tell you? I started on real estate about 9 years ago. I started with Remax, actually, with my mom. She's still a realtor with Remax. Never got to recruit her. That's my biggest failure in my recruiting lifetime. She still is working with Remax, actually one of the most productive agents in the country within Remax. Couple of years after, I switched industry to work in a car dealership as a general manager, and then came back to real estate with Keller Williams. I started in KW as a team leader to launch a real estate office here in Mazatlan. You have your home here. Mazatlan is on the Pacific coast of Mexico, right on the middle. And yeah, well, we drove this market center, this office, to be the most productive one in the country on the first year. After this, I built my own real estate team. It's called Bricks. Still, it's in production. I'm not in production anymore. On the first year, we got to 228 transactions. First place also within KW in productions and closed units and GCI. And after that, I was invited to lead the country as a national director for Keller Williams on February of this year. Was a pretty good ride over there. And a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday, somebody called me and say, "Hey, I have news for you." And I'm here. I'm here now. Very, very happy to be here. It's been very powerful transition. I am really, really excited. And honestly, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting the power that eXp has in the amount of interest that US agents and Mexican agents have on the model, being so different and so new within the country. I'm pretty sure we're going to do great. We're going to do awesome things. And it's a huge opportunity for everybody in the States, especially you guys, to start building their downline over here, because there's a lot of interest in the country.
Fantastic. Well, yeah. Well, I'm really impressed, Ismael, with, the amount of time that you've been in real estate, and how quickly you've been able to expand and grow, and the accomplishments that you've had, with Keller Williams and with your team.
I've been lucky and have a great team around me. So yes.
Fantastic. Well, we're very excited to have you here. And I think some of the questions that that we have, just starting off is, so when is the official, Mexico, and more importantly, what are the differences in the models between the US and Mexico?
All right, well, we have a target date to launch the country on the 30th of November. Yes, the 30th of November. That's well, that's our goal. We're pretty sure we're going to make it, and we're doing everything we can in order to be able to do it. Next Tuesday, which is the 17th of November, we're having our first official webinar where we will share officially, sorry, the model for Mexico, the details, how things are going to work. So I invite you all to join us on this webinar and invite your candidates or your referrals to get to this conversation with us. The model is pretty similar to what to how it works on the US. No, of course we do have some fundamental differences in terms of, for example, split. Here in Mexico, the split is going to be 75-25. Of that 25%, the 20% is going to go to revenue share. The extra 5%, it's we're doing this in a lot of countries outside the US to protect the company from how to say the exchange rate between pesos and dollars, or euros and dollars in some areas. However, the 25% goes to the cap. The cap for Mexico, this has been one of the biggest challenges that I've had up to now, because, for example, in KW, each market center has its own cap that adapts to the conditions of the local market where they are, right? So over here, we're having one cap for the whole country, and it's been a challenge to have a good enough cap for agents in Los Cabos and agents in Torreón and San Luis Potosí, the total different markets. So right now we have established a cap of 250,000 pesos, which is like 11,500 US probably. Let me make sure. 250,000 pesos. Yes, like 1100. Yes. So the icon program is very similar. You have to get to the cap. I can share all of this, the official model on a PDF with you guys after the call for sure. But we have the same programs with shares, with shares for the icon program and for your downline and all of this. So it's going to be pretty similar.
Okay, awesome.
It's what I want to share with you guys is that although the model may seem a little bit more expensive, let's say, in terms of splits, in comparison with what you guys have in the US, it's still the best model available in Mexico. It's the best model that we have in the whole country.
Okay, now question for you, Ismael. So one of the obvious questions is, as coming in, if I know somebody in Mexico, they are now going to become part of my downline. Yes, right?
Correct, obviously. Correct. If they choose you as their sponsor, they will be on your okay. Downline. That's right.
And as of now, is there any way for them to, because they don't have licensing in Mexico, so how can someone in Mexico choose me as a sponsor?
Okay, right. One of the things that we're finalizing this week is the ICA, the Independent Contract Agreement that Mexican agents are going to sign. That is something that we have, that we expect to have ready by the end of this week, and to have it ready for Tuesday webinar when we present it. So from Tuesday forward, they're going to be able to do the normal, procedures through the Join app, and in the Join app, they can choose you as their sponsor.
Oh, okay. And so on the Join app, I think they ask for a license, right?
Yes, of course. We are having our Mexican Join app that adapts to the conditions of the market over here.
Okay. Okay. So for now, someone could actually go in and do the ICA in English?
No, it's going to be in Spanish. No, it's going to be the Spanish.
And that'll
Today
be
we're
next
not
week.
ready. Yes, today
Okay.
we're not ready to receive agents. Of course,
Okay.
we don't have a platform yet. We're finishing up that
Okay.
matters. Yes.
Now, one of the other questions, and will will we be able to go into the world and how we see the United States? Will we be able to, click into Mexico? That's one question that I had.
Correct. Correct. We will have within world our how can I say, the Mexican offices, so you can go in with the staff, but we're going to have another world with Mexican agents, and we're going to be able to be at both worlds together.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Tech team is working a lot to get this done. It's just amazing how they're preparing everything for us.
Okay, fantastic. Now, the reverse is someone in Mexico, if they now, let's say there's a guy, he has an office and 50 people over there, and then he happens to know somebody in the US, will they also be able to participate in the downline in the US market?
Of course, of course.
Wow, it's
Mexican
exciting.
agents can refer US agents to, and French agents in Portugal and the UK and Australia. It's a worldwide thing. It goes
So
both ways.
That's like a massive opportunity, I think, for anybody.
It is a great opportunity. It is great. That's one of the things that blew my mind. I have to share with you, being KW regional director for the country. Of course, I got to know the business model, right? So KW actually has revenue of 3% as a franchise fee, the region from the agents. So right from the start, your downline pays you more. So we have the opportunity to have more revenue from the agents in our downline that the company at KW has. So this is a great model for us to be able to build that passive income.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Very, 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 very excited, Ismael. And I'll just kind of switch it up for you guys that do speak Spanish. Ismael, cuando platicamos tu familia, ¿verdad? Porque nosotros en México somos un poquito más de relación, más de comunicación, o sea, más de familia. Entonces, en lo personal, tu familia de Michoacán, ¿no?
No, mi familia, mis padres, del lado de
Sí.
mis padres, sí son de Michoacán.
Oh, okay.
Mi ascendencia es de un pueblito en Michoacán.
Ajá.
Quedé que iba a pasarte el nombre, la verdad no pregunté, pero sí son de Michoacán. Mi madre es de acá de Mazatlán.
Uh-huh.
Y aquí
Perfect.
estamos nosotros en Mazatlán.
So one of the reasons I just wanted to do that, guys, is because I had a really great conversation with Ismael, and like, he's so down to earth. He's so like, from what I gather from you, Ismael, is that you're a very humble leader.
Thank you.
And it just feels really good to be able to have someone that we can connect with and we can connect our people with, and they speak the language, you speak the language. I feel like it's incredible. I'll open it up in the chat. Does anybody have any questions before, our president of Mexico? My gosh, right? Like,
that sounds powerful.
I know.
Yes.
Mr.
Officially,
President,
officially the title is broker of records for Mexico.
Broker.
So,
okay.
So I like that. I like Presidente better, but I didn't get to choose.
I'll call you Presidente.
All right.
Does anybody have, one question I'll ask. Ismael, you are in Mazatlan right now, right?
Correct. I'm physically in Mazatlan.
Okay, and then the meeting next week, November 17th, where, what time, how can we join in on that?
I have the link. I'm going to put it on the chat right now. It's, let me, 1 second. It's at, you know what? I don't want to make a mistake. Let me just copy it. Oh my God, I don't remember what time it is.
1,000 people calling you every day. So
yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
And there you go. It's in the chat right now. So over there is the link to be able to register. So that will be 7 p.m. East time. So it will be 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mediterranean and 4 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, and will that be in the auditorium or it's just a webinar?
It's a webinar.
Okay.
It's a Zoom call. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So it's in the chat if you guys want to go ahead and copy that so that you'll have all the details. Now, finally, if we do know someone in Mexico and we do want to connect them, would it be you that we connect them with?
Yes, right now it will be me. Of course, we're hiring. We're in this process of hiring the onboarding specialist. We already have a transaction specialist. But for onboarding right now, you can connect them with me. And I can be the one who does all of the meetings and takes care that everything is done until we have the onboarding specialist.
Okay, and then just to kind of get somebody some details, real estate in Mexico is a lot different than real estate in the United States, right? Splits are different.
Well,
You don't need a license. Tell us.
well, it's very similar. You know, it's actually pretty similar. The main difference is that we don't have a license. Real estate business is not regulated for any branch of the government, which is incredible. They're in the process of making this change through legislation, but it's going to take a couple of years. And, you know, Mexican agents try to learn from best practices. So we do a lot of things like you guys do in the States. However, not having a license, this is a good thing and a bad thing, you know? It is a good thing because it represents an opportunity to anybody to be a real estate agent and have a source of income through these activities. But that same good thing produces a lot of, let's say, bad practices. Not because they want to do bad things, but because there's not a real estate school, you know, and there's not an educational program about it. So these bad practices sometimes can affect some markets in terms of commission splits and the amount of commission that we charge our sellers. But honestly, it's pretty similar.
Okay, and so when agents need assistance from their broker, is that you? Is that
Correct.
you and your team?
Yes, of course, I will have a team that will be able to provide service to all the agents in Mexico. We are forecasting to end up 2021 with above 2,000 agents. So we're going to need a big team.
Wow. So that means that you already have lots of groups that are you know, out there that are engaged.
Correct.
And yeah, fantastic.
Yes, it's been incredible. We're estimating to end up in December with around 500 agents already. So that will be a ride.
Well, hopefully, you know, 495 of them are from our group.
Correct. Correct.
Yes. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? I really appreciate your time, Ismael. I don't want to hold you up. You committed to 20 minutes. Jose Samano says, what are the biggest markets? And if a dual citizen in USA but not licensed in US, can you build in Mexico and bring agents? Yes, you can. You can bring agents in Cabo, Cancun. So what are the biggest markets in Mexico, and are you open to all markets in Mexico?
Yes, we're open to all markets in Mexico. The biggest ones I would say are the ones who have a city that has like tourism, for example, which you will find two markets in this city. For example, Cabo, Mazatlan, Vallarta, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Puerto Peñasco, of course, Mexico City, Monterrey, you know, Guadalajara also. So Querétaro, Puebla, these are the biggest markets that we have. But the biggest one, at least within KW, which is, you know, I do a lot of reference to the information I have from KW because in Mexico we don't have an MLS, so it's very difficult for us to know what's happening in other companies. So I'm sorry if I talk a lot about what I do know. So in KW, the biggest market was actually Puerto Vallarta. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ismael. Thank you for your time today. We're going to have you again, I know, because there's going to be more questions, and we just want to get to know you, and we want you to get to know us.
It'll be my pleasure. It'll be my pleasure. Thank you very much to everybody. It's you know, it's wonderful to be here and to be in business with such great leaders like you. It's just fills my heart. So please feel free to reach me out. Anything you need, it will be my pleasure to help you. Rosie,
And
thank you very much for the opportunity.
thank you so much, Ismael. And if you guys want to get a hold of him through Workplace, it's probably the best way. Send him a message.
Correct.
He'll get